morning, good afternoon, good evening. There are reports that there are NGOs who are determined to resist Mnangagwa's bid to extend his stay in office beyond the two-term limits. I think this is most heartening. What do you think of it, Benjamin?
Good day to you and good day to our viewers. At the heart of the problem, I would like to believe that, years and years of us doing the same mistakes over and over again has given ZANU PF that power to actually think that they can do anything and the citizens will be fine with it. We will murmur, yes, but after a short while, it's business as usual. So it's quite, yes, very disheartening to find we are in this situation, and the situation seems to be getting worse and worse each time.
Well, the thing here that some people should understand is that this issue of the two-term limits is something that Zimbabweans saw to it that it was included in the 2013 constitution out of desperation. The people of Zimbabwe were stuck with Robert Mugabe as the leader since 1980. They just could not get the regime and the leader, the dictator, out of power because ZANU-PF rigged the elections. And so demanding that we should have a term limit was a way of, at least if we cannot remove the individual out of office through free, fair, and credible elections, we've got another fallback position. He cannot stay there for more than 2 terms. This is why the people of Zimbabwe are outraged. Because let's be honest here, Mnangagwa rigged the 2018 election. When he came into office following the coup, he made 2 promises. One promise was that he would hold free, fair, and credible elections. The second promise was that he would stamp out corruption. He didn't keep neither of the promises. He rigged the 2018 elections and then has gone on to rig the 2023 elections. And so all this drive for him to stay until 2030 is driving the people nuts. What else can they do to stop the dictatorship? That is what is at issue here. People don't want him to stay. He rigged the elections. And the illegitimate tyrant is now talking of extending his rule beyond the 2028 elections. That is, I think, what some people are failing to understand here.
We must also add to say, the people of Zimbabwe have been taken advantage of by both political parties, both the opposition and the ruling party. And funny enough, they still don't get it. That is the heart of the problem. And this is why you find now ZANU-PF has taken into overdrive and they are going as far as changing the constitution. We have to realize that, the political parties that we have and, the candidates that we are supporting have never been for the people. If we cannot realize that, you know, 44 years in, or 45 years in, we are in serious trouble. And changing the constitution is just a drop in the ocean. What will stop them from extending after 2030 if the vision is not complete? And who knows when the vision is complete? Who can see the groundwork to say we are working towards this? None of us. So we are in serious trouble. It is our problem now. We need to start seeing the true, reflection, the true blemish in ourselves, so that we can address the problem head on.
The other problem here is it's all very well for these NGOs to say they're going to mount a massive resistance to stop Mnangagwa drive for the third term. The question that has to be asked is, how are they mounting this massive drive? These are the same NGOs that have participated in elections in the past, even after they'd been warned that participating in flawed elections will only give ZANU-PF legitimacy. They've gone out there. Some of them have actively encouraged people to participate in the flawed process. Mnangagwa, I repeat, rigged the 2018 elections. He rigged the 2023 elections. And part of the process of changing this constitution will mean he has got to go to the people in a referendum. And if he can easily rig elections, he can rig the referendum too. So if these NGOs are going to encourage people to participate in the flawed process, I think it's history just repeating itself. Mnangagwa will not be worried about their massive resistance as long as it entails participating, because he knows he can rig the result. The really worrying thing here is these NGOs, while they realize the folly of changing the constitution to allow Mnangagwa to stay beyond the 2-year maximum term, they have no clue whatsoever as to what to do to stop him. In their frantic effort to stop him, they are going to participate in the flawed process to give the process legitimacy. What is tiring here is that we've been down this road before. After 45 years in counting of rigged elections, last elections, SADC observers pointed out the folly of participating in flawed elections. We have got a real danger here of overzealous individuals who are going to encourage people to vote, to participate in the flawed process, which will only give ZANU-PF what it wants. That is my worry.
I think you got it spot on there when you say, our participating in rigged processes gives gives legitimacy to the whole process. I mean, look at it this way. We had the SADC, SADC report. It clearly stated that the 2023 elections did not meet, the Zimbabwe constitution requirements and the regional body requirements. And everybody sang that song, including the NGOs, opposition parties. They sang that song. But then they stopped there. Yet further, if you go further, solutions were given. How do you get yourselves out of this mess? How do Zimbabweans get out of this mess? None of them talked about it. Why? Because everybody still wants to participate in the upcoming election. That is all that is to it. Because there's parliamentary seats, there's, councils, there's monies for participating, there's pollard, and so forth. This is why they're ignoring the solutions. Dr. Mumba gave us the solution to our problem. Not once. On many videos, he came out and he spoke and he said the solution to Zimbabwe's problem. All other, observer missions said the same thing. And the solutions are one and the same. But no one wants to deal with that. No one wants to talk about that out of greed. And poor Zimbabweans will just blindly follow, their leaders, be it going for ZANU-PF, be it going for Chamisa, be it going for whoever, forgetting that they need to fix the process. Going into the referendum will not be any different. ZANU-PF wants you to queue up. Once they queue up, they show it to the world, Zimbabwe has spoken. Yet the whole process is a shamble. In Shona, they say, Yatsika mcheche yamo. If you just queue, that is the end of it. That is what ZANU-PF needs at the end of the day. And goodbye to the whole democratic process. And this is the end result.
I'll just conclude there by playing a short clip of Dr. Mumba reminding people of Zimbabwe of the need to ensure that elections are free, fair, and credible. And if they are not, to stop participating in flawed processes to give the process legitimacy. We have been participating in flawed process only to give the process, this vote riggings, ZANU-PF legitimacy.
Said to me, Mr. Vice President, go on behalf of SADC, and all I expect from you is to help to give the Zimbabweans a free, fair, and credible election. Those are the only, he said it twice. I need nothing from you, Mr. Vice President, but free, fair, and credible election. You would have done your job. When I was in Zimbabwe, and we were on our way to go and see President Mnangagwa to pay a courtesy call on him, I contacted the president here, President Hakainde Hichilema. I said, Mr. President, we are going to see your colleague. Do you have a word for him? Any greeting, whatever? He said, no. The only thing you tell my colleague is that let's go ahead and give the Zimbabweans a free, fair, and credible election. He repeated the same words. So there was one.
So if we have not implemented even one token reform, the referendum will not be free, fair, and credible. And participating in a process that you know yourself is not free, fair, and credible. And worse still, that if you participate, you give the process legitimacy, is insane. That point cannot be overemphasized. The NGO friends who are now saying they are going to campaign to stop Mnangagwa, push for instead third term beyond the two-term limits, they have in the past deferred to whatever the opposition wanted to do. I think this time they must stand firm. The opposition has been participating in these flawed elections out of greed. We know that. The NGOs must stand up on their own 2 feet and tell the opposition leaders that participating in this flawed referendum will only give ZANU-PF legitimacy. We should stop this madness. Thank you very much, those of you who were able to tune in, and we hope you'll be able to join us again tomorrow, 6 o'clock UK time, 8 o'clock Zimbabwean time. Good night.